1000. And that gets us to Deep of Night Progress 2. This took way more games than it should have, on account of getting a bunch of teammates that would leave at the very beginning of day one, but we did it. So, we're now at Depth 2, and I want to see what this is about. Also, yeah, I've been playing a lot more Wilder. Although I did get something interesting for Iron Eye. Uh, the first one, character skill inflicts heavy poison damage on poisoned enemies. So, his, like, marking skill... I'm gonna be a little evil and also run Iron Eye. I'm sorry to Green, but I kind of want to show this off because it's pretty cool. Now, when I read that, I thought, okay, it can do one of two things. Either one, it can have poison on it, so like it inflicts poison, which is what I was hoping for. Or two, it could have the, like, I think it's poison moth flight, something like that. The one skill that makes it to where if an enemy is poisoned and you hit them with it, it like detonates. As you can see there, it does both. It doesn't detonate it and get rid of the poison, it just does extra damage. Which is pretty cool. We can do that, so we have a poison bow and a damage bow. That's how I tend to do things. Is if I have one weapon with status conditions and one weapon with just higher damage, status condition goes in the left hand, damage goes in the right hand, and I just dual wield them. So we got a stone sword key, we can drop that to the enemy. This is a dead recluse. Do they have anything? Oh, no, not particularly. So we can just get out of there. We can heal. I think... Never mind, I was gonna say, I think that they just, like, jumped out of here. And the team just came here in order to get the stone sword key. Which is like a legitimate strategy that people use. Elbanoric bow. But yeah, for Iron Eye, that I'm here. The slot 5 top one, character skill inflicts heavy poison damage. I would highly suggest getting that because it is legitimately really good. Because as I said, not only does it inflict poison, but it also does significantly increase damage to enemies that have been inflicted with poison. Okay, you can see how it did yellow damage there. Once again, you can see the yellow damage. And you combine that... Ow. But if you combine that with the relic effect that gives you... You can die, so you stop attacking us. But anyways, if you combine that with the one ability or relic that gets you a second use of a skill, they just work so well together. More stamina. Level 5 already. As you can see, I'm down a little bit of health. That's one of the negative effects. Down at the bottom, near death reduces max HP. It's on a time limit. Or why not? But as you can see, it's gone already. It lasts like 30 seconds, I think. Keep in mind, I don't look anything up. Like, ever. At least in this game, I didn't look anything up. In the other games, I'm willing to look stuff up, but only after beating the game multiple times. And it's mostly just like, where do I get this weapon? Or how do I finish this NPC quest? Just pretty bog standard, normal stuff like that. But for the most part, I try to figure out things on my own. And for this game, Night Rain, I have not looked a single thing up. So all of the knowledge that I have is completely on my own. You can see that thing running around. It's like a tree log and you have to shoot it. It's kind of comical, but it's also the worst of all of those. Because it's hard to hit, because it's constantly moving around and it's pretty fast. I want more runes. Okay. We can drop that. So that way, if they want a Scarlet Rot dealing weapon, they can have that. I also threw on, in the first slot, that one. You can pause and look at it, but starting armament inflicts poison and damage up when facing poison-afflicted enemies, which works really well with the deep one that I got, where our character skill inflicts poison. And so very poison-centric. Very good against Adele, who we are just so happen to be fighting. So that worked out well. Also, I don't know the numbers on this. Unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know the numbers on this, but it seems like there are a lot of red bosses. Like, a lot of red bosses. They're absolutely everywhere. Black Bow is good. I don't like lower damage negation, so I'm gonna go with higher damage negation. Right, so it's not Crucible Knights, because there's a Crucible Knight down there. So, I'm going to guess that it's the Banished Knight. I'm gonna get that, drop it. I don't think that you can get the successive attacks with bows. It is troll. So, for the trolls, instead of going up that way, I actually go up this way. Because if everyone goes this way, then the troll that they're fighting right now off to the right actually doesn't see you. Yeah, you can see the guy double marked just exploded the second time. Because that relic ability is just very good. And again, mixed with the relic ability that gets you 2 of those. It's just so potent. With affinity damage negation. I was about to say I'm down to 1 flask right as I go up to 2. But down to 1 flask so I can hit that. Only at 3, so we have not hit a church yet. I saw a church down to the south. Less likely to be targeted. Hold on. 70, 83. So more damage and less likely to be targeted. We are going to okay. I was gonna say, the fact that we managed to get that is so good. I'm gonna go for this because I want to get a Healy, and then we can go back here day 2. I feel like that's the plan. Also, you can use it did not let me search sprint there. But anyways, you can use Iron Eye's mark in midair. I don't think it goes as far, but if you need just a little bit of distance, it can get you that. And it looks pretty funny to do. One of these, you'll love to see these. Good. Earth tree's favor. Drop down. Drop down. Drop up. Do that just because I hate those guys. And we can keep on moving. And we can get rid of that pin. And I'll drop that for them whenever. He is very far into the rain. I wonder what he's doing. Silly little goose. Also, a little piece of advice that a lot of people go against is that when you go here, don't grab that thing. The, like, boost rune acquisition. I couldn't get him. But the boost rune acquisition that you get there, a lot of people grab it immediately. Terrible idea. Never do that. You want to grab it once the enemies actually spawn. Because if you grab it immediately, and the enemies don't spawn for like 20 seconds, that means that you just wasted 20 seconds of its duration standing around not gaining any runes. Whereas if you only grab it once the enemies actually spawn, well, no, suddenly you can have the full duration. And if you're fast enough, you might even be able to get it for the boss as well. Which is very nice. And saw that one coming. Rain of arrows. Definitely at its strongest against really big enemies and bosses like this. We had the same thought. So yeah, so just use all my FP doing that. I can drop this and pin it. That way they have the knowledge that we have that. Poison triggers continuous HP restoration. As we have a poison bow. We're very close to a level up. So we can just use our normal bow shots. Extra damage on that. Yeah, another red boss. I don't know if the night bosses can be red, and I don't know if the Nightlord can be red. I'm gonna assume no on both ends. I'm going to hope no on both ends. All resistance is up. Don't really need it, but there's a dead person. Also, they're red on the map, so that's interesting. Stab you. Don't get stabbed. You got very close to being stabbed. Or slammed. Slashed, whatever you want to call it. I got hit there because I got distracted by a certain something. You may have seen it. Thine eyes. Call me greedy, but I am very happy to take those. We're just gonna play it a bit safe. Gonna go in with the goal of not dying. Great, so greatly restores HP and temporarily boosts all damage negation. You'll love to see it. Boost HP restoration from flasks. You'll love to see it. And my health went back to normal. Alright. Also, yeah, with the deep relics, you can actually spawn in with these tiers. I got the one that makes it to where you restore HP automatically when you're at low health. I haven't gotten any of the good ones like Crimson or Crimson Burst or Opaline. I'm hoping to get those at some point because those are really good. Sadly, not yet. I'm just taking note of that. Oh, they're going after boss first, okay. Oh, and it's one of them easy bosses. Gonna take care of them so they aren't going around killing. Poison probably isn't that good against the poison flower, so just not gonna bother with that. They did get rotted though. Albinork bow. 9194. Not a big difference, but still. But yeah, they have Blessed Dew, which is my baby. And so I would very much appreciate it if they would drop that to me at some point. I mean, obviously they don't have to, but it would be appreciated. And while we are doing so much damage to them and stunning them so much and giving them so many status conditions. Poor guy couldn't even exist properly. And he was a red enemy too. Oh, yeah. They really just do show up red on the map. That's 55k for the next level. Question is, does the team wanna? Because we could. I know, we're just running. Like I said, we could. We do have the time for that. And we might go back for it, but this seems like the priority for them. What's a magma worm? I love these guys, they're adorable. I mean, they're going to die, but they're adorable. They can be scary at times, especially when they decide to go speeding around at the They do have the ability to kill. And considering this is a red one, which I believe reds do more damage, I'm pretty sure they have more health. And I think they have more damage on top of Not 100% on that, but I think that's how it works. Oh, affinity attack power. Just want to see if there's... Yep. So we can pop them. In that, in case they want it. I like the two that I have a bit more. Although I would happily drop either one of these for Blessed Do. Objectively speaking, not really good. Especially since you can't really stack it with a lot of things in this game. So, in Night Rain specifically, it's just kinda on its own. Which makes it not nearly as viable. But it's still my baby. Fully damage negation. Yeah, and because of that, I am loyal to it. I must take care of it. I can't just abandon my child. I can have someone else watch over it. But that only works as a temporary solution. Up we go. We can buy this. Slam those two. 99, 98. And it poison. So doing that makes it to where I don't have to swap between them. Less likely to be targeted, in case one of them wants that. I was about to say, if not, I'll pick it up because the negative effect was less stamina, and I am perfectly willing to take that negative effect. I'll let him go first. Because I don't take this path very often. Just doubled up on that, because, again, it does poison. Meaning that if the first one doesn't poison, then I can just do it again. And we can pop that. That's good timing. Stop them from doing that. So, one of them can have that if they want. Drop down. And, yeah, we're probably going to end up in the rain a little bit. But that's okay. Because it doesn't start doing even more damage until at least the Night 2 boss spawns. It might be after they die. Though I did have one really funny experience. Like 2 days ago. Where a team just really wanted to go and do an encampment after Night 2 ended, because the circle was right next to the encampment. And I didn't go in because nothing in there appealed to me. But it was really funny watching the team die like 7 or 8 times trying to clear out one singular encampment. Because I'm not exaggerating when I say the rain does like double damage compared to what it used to do. We can pick that up. We can get Daddle out of here. Kill that enemy for them. We can pick up the 2 warming stones. And we can continue to move on. I was going to say, I hear it. That's not really worth it. What was this? Ooh. Right. This one specifically can die. Now, time to help this guy. Even though he's a monster that stole my child. We can still help him out. He's still a teammate. Can I do that so there's not a giant twin blade sticking out of my back? Ouchers, wouchers. I love that attack. It kind of reminds me of the Oracle Kaz phase transition, where they just like slam their weapon into the ground, knocks the player back, but doesn't actually do any damage. It's kind of silly, but I really like that. Just those knockback but no damage attacks. Because it really feels like the boss is... It really feels like the boss is just going, ugh, get off me. Get away from me, you're annoying. It's so funny to me. Ancient Dragon down. These first 2 are both good. We'll go with more health. And because we are Iron Eye, we can just... That's a second boss. You love to see it. You don't love to see that it's a Deathrite bird, but you love to see the extra runes. How are the general? I don't care for that. Because what I have is good already. Besides that. I could drop that, actually. And that is precisely what I'm going to do. I dodged too early. Just in time. Just in time. Alright. We can drop that. We can move that over there. And now we just have one weapon. Improve flask HP restoration. And off we go. The modeled necklace doesn't do much for us, but the grab attack has blood loss, so it's possibly potentially better than nothing. I'm gonna grab that first, then I'm gonna grab that to do that. Then I'm gonna grab that to do that. That way the money isn't wasted. And then we're gonna do that. So first I've got greatly restores HP, which is just like a normal heal, slower. Then we got increased damage negation, then we have the HP restoration over time that I can, like, doesn't lock me into a single location. And then I got warming stones to end it off. This didn't feel harder than tier 1. Actually, because of how cursed my tier 1 matches have been, and these teammates have been doing their job, this has actually felt significantly easier than most of my tier 1 matches. At least with randoms. Like the coordinated team, this feels harder than that, but I haven't really noticed a difference between this and tier 1. Which I was kind of hoping to see a difference between this and tier 1. So in case you don't know, when they do that phase transition, I cannot speak English, but there are 3 little lightning bolts that land directly on top of you. And they follow you no matter where you go. So it's not just like a random thing. The lightning bolts specifically want you. And so it doesn't matter where you move, as long as you continue moving. And don't go where you just were. I tend to just walk in a straight line. So I may have gotten a little over-prepared for this. Considering I have not gotten hit once. No hit, no ult. Crimson Opaline, Crimson Burst. Completely unnecessary. Didn't need them whatsoever. But it felt good to get them. Didn't feel very good to have my baby stolen from me. My precious, precious blessed dew. But I lived. No. Didn't kill me. Improved spear attack power. Interesting. Magic attack. Alright, so magic attack power at +4 would be good for close. Taking damage causes a rot buildup. That shouldn't be too bad. I should be able to work around that just fine. HP recovery from successful guarding and improved guard counters +1. Sounds like it'd be good for Guardian. I don't play Guardian though, so we can sell that. Physical attack up +3 is kind of nice. I did get one that was kind of similar to this, but it was reduced dexterity and intelligence, and I threw that on Raider because Raider doesn't need dex or int, but that one isn't too good. Also, not that good. Like, if you took away the negative effects, this would be decent enough, but it's not worth it. That's what I've noticed, is a lot of these simply aren't worth it. Mostly because of the negative effects, which is unfortunate. However, I'm also still pretty new to this. Like, just one win into tier 2. And I have gotten some good ones. Yeah, this one. Raider, hit with character skill to reduce enemy attack power and partial HP restoration upon post-damage attacks +1. But reduced intelligence and dexterity, but you don't really need that for Raider. But a buff to his character skill and something that promotes you trading blows, which Raider does. And then the physical attack up +4. Now, the negative effect's kind of bad, but physical attack up +4 is worth it. And then character skill inflicts heavy poison damage on poisoned enemies. And while it doesn't say it, it also inflicts poison. So that's very good. And no negative effects. Very good. And then if you look, there is... Does it? Yep. You can find them... No, that's the aromatics. Hold on. Hold on. Does it not show it? Ah, here, starting item tier. I was like, I could have sworn that I saw tiers in here, but it's one below. Yeah, Crimson Crystal tier, Crimson Burst. Crimson Spill just gives you more health, but it doesn't fill your health bar. And so even if you're at full health and you drink it, you're no longer at full health, which is kind of stupid, but Crimson, Crimson Burst, Cerulean, Green Burst, Opaline Hard tier. I don't remember what these two do. Or some of these ones. But Opaline Bubble tier as well, and Cerulean Hidden tier. Like, there are some really good ones. And you can just have those as starting items. So I'm really hoping to find those. For now, the ones that I've gotten: Magic Attack Power up +4. Iron Eye with the character skill that I showed off. This one with Raider, which is pretty good. I say as someone who doesn't play Raider. Dormant Power helps discover great swords, which is good for Raider. And then Opaline Hard tier in possession. So it's blue and I could throw it on Raider, but my Iron Eye doesn't have that. And Iron Eye's Chalice is the one I typically go with. And it also doesn't have a blue, so... Yeah, the two that I'm using don't have a blue. This one has a blue splot. I'm not correcting myself, English is difficult. But yeah, this goes full in on Holy. So this was what I had for Triaphlos. And because you can't choose who you're going up against, yeah. But there we go. That was my first run-in on the Deep of Night Tier 2. Didn't feel any different, really, from Tier 1. It felt the same. I, I don't, maybe I'm crazy, but I really didn't notice any difference. The mode is kind of fun, though, so I'm gonna keep at it. I'll let you know if I see anything interesting, and, yeah.